Hey guys, what's the real reason people love heavyweight boxing? Simple, the sheer brute power those fighters bring. In heavyweight bouts, it's pretty rare not to see at least one knockdown. So in this video I'm bringing you pure entertainment. When the big boys collide, a spectacle is almost guaranteed. Let's go.
That'll give him a bit of energy. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Knocks Derek Chisora out.
Let's start with a true strongman showdown. Eddie Hall vs Hafthor Bjornsson in a 6-round boxing match, because it rarely gets bigger than that. In the first round, both of these monsters look confident. Eddie keeps his lead hand low. He's not very technical, relying more on wild haymakers. Thor, on the other hand, tries to stay disciplined, working behind the fundamentals.
He doesn't need these gaps where...
So after that explosive start, they settle down now. Oh, big punch there from Eddie.
And a solid jab there as well there from... It is the blood dripping down the face there of Eddie. That's a nice 1-2 there from Thor.
Big swing, but he's missing those big shots now.
The first knockdown comes at the beginning of the second round. Eddie nearly drops Thor with a big right hand, forcing the referee to start a count.
Oh, big punch there!
That's a knockdown. The ropes kept him up. That's technically a knockdown.
Another wild exchange erupts midway through the round. Thor lands a heavy straight left, but Eddie retaliates with a bomb of a right hand.
Starting to push his punches, starting to go. Good shot. He felt that.
Oh!
That was called a push. Called a push.
The third round is where Bjornsson really shines. He drops Eddie with a crisp 1-2.
Nearly halfway through. Oh! Big punch there from Thor. Eddie's made it to his feet.
From that moment on, Thor starts to take over the fight. He shows why, even when you're built like a Titan, technique matters. In the 6th round, he scores another knockdown, with another sharp 1-2.
Oh, big shot there! Woo! Straight up though.
Too early.
Bjornsson takes a unanimous decision. It's a bit disappointing that there was no knockout, but still, what a spectacle between these two monstrosities at the end of the day.
And our winner, Hafthor Bjornsson, in the ring.
Another winning performance from Hafthor Bjornsson came in his fight against Canadian arm wrestler Devon Larratt. This was easy work for Bjornsson. You can see Thor is taking his boxing passion seriously, while Devon, well yeah, he probably should have stayed in his lane. Boxing is clearly not his thing.
He's going to the left, yeah, he knows to stay away from that backhand, so he's going to his left all the time.
Yep, smart.
Oh.
He came over top with the right.
Yeah.
And he came over top with his own left.
Sunk a little body shot in there. Oof.
This one ended in the first round after Larratt absorbed too many unanswered shots.
You know what I mean? I know he's got the power and the strength to knock me out in the first minute or two.
Yeah, see what he's got.
Yeah, exactly. You know, test his wind.
I don't think Devon's got much in him. You can hear him screaming.
Yeah.
He's not, he hasn't.
The referee stepped in, wearing a facial expression that basically said, "Yeah buddy, next time think twice before getting in the ring with a powerhouse like this."
Hafthor, the Mountain Bjornsson!
Now let's move on to the professional fighters. One of the most talked about MMA versus boxing clashes ever, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. Joshua basically took Ngannou, who was still confident and riding high after a respectable showing against Tyson Fury, to boxing school. Ngannou looked flat-footed and out of his element, while AJ was sharp, disciplined, and dialed in with his crisp jab and perfect timing. The first knockdown came in the second round, when Joshua caught Ngannou with a brutal right hand. The look on Ngannou's face as he went down, like he just survived a car crash, was the moment he seemed to realize he might have been better off staying in the UFC. And as soon as he got back up, AJ closed the show with a single, devastating punch. Ngannou was out for several minutes, a reminder of terrifying power Joshua carries.
With the right hand, that's a lovely shot.
Is the biggest right hand I've ever seen live in a boxing bout. I mean, that's the first one, biggest shot I have seen live.
That
What a right hand that was.
walked over, cracked. That's as clinical.
But one of the most flawless performances of AJ's career was definitely his fight against boxing legend Vladimir Klitschko. Both fighters showed up with their A-game, and the first few rounds were back and forth battle.
Here from round to round.
Good right hand by Vladimir right there.
Right hand by Joshua on the shoulder of Klitschko.
Klitschko pulled the left hand down and landed the right hand right over the top.
The real fireworks started in the 5th round, when AJ scored his hard-earned first knockdown against Vladimir.
And he's hurt very bad. And there he goes. Down goes Klitschko. Punch, right hand, followed by a big left hook right there that hurt him. Joshua stays on the attack. Catches him with an overhand right and a jab, and down he goes.
Vladimir retaliated in the 6th round, dropping AJ with a crushing straight right.
And he's taking more gambles like that.
Down goes Joshua.
Knocked the jab down, followed the straight right hand, and that really put Joshua on the mat.
This war continued relentlessly until the 11th round, when Joshua finally cracked Klitschko's armor with one of the nastiest uppercuts you'll ever see.
Body shot. Vladimir in trouble. Right down. Down goes Klitschko.
When Vladimir got back to his feet, he probably still felt shockwaves from that brutal punch. AJ then swarmed him with a relentless barrage, and the referee had no choice but to stop the fight.
Is aimed at ending the fight. Body shot. Left hookers. Right hand. David Fields is going to stop it.
This was peak Joshua, the unstoppable force at that moment in his career.
And in the beginning round, he landed a beautiful right uppercut. That shot usually, on most days, takes Vladimir out. With a left hook, right hand, another left hook, right body shot, left hook to the head, and down goes Vladimir.
Next up, now how can we not include good old Mike Tyson in this video? Let's take a look at one of his most iconic performances against Peter McNeely. This was Tyson's first fight after being released from prison. And just look at that death stare from Tyson at the face-off. Those are the eyes of a wild predator released from its cage. The fight begins and Mike immediately drops McNeely.
And McNeely, as advertised, comes right at Mike Tyson. Down goes McNeely.
Peter starts circling the ring, trying to play mind games with Tyson, as if to say, "Look, I'm actually okay, you don't hit that hard." Once the fight resumes, they start brawling hard.
On the canvas. With McNeely pounding away, Mike Tyson going to the uppercuts on the inside.
Tyson seeming to just hang back there waiting for that one shot.
But it doesn't take too long for Mike to floor Peter again, earning a second knockdown.
And stop that nonsense because they were starting to butt heads. Oh.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely again.
After this display of savagery, McNeely's corner rushes into the ring to save their boy from further punishment. Peter was definitely not ready for the wrath of post-prison Mike Tyson.
Mike comes across, just a nice short, crisp, turned over right hand.
Tyson. Now he's in a perfect position to come back. Whack! And you see he's turning his head as he got hit. But it was enough to stun him, and he kind of tripped over Mike's feet as well.
Speaking of Mike Tyson's iconic bouts, let's rewind to his wild fight against Buster Douglas. At the time, Mike was still undefeated and full of confidence, but Buster came to fight. He wasn't intimidated by Mike the way so many of Tyson's other opponents were. The first half of the fight had a lot of clinching, with Douglas neutralizing Tyson's biggest strength, his close-range power. Douglas was actually winning on the judges' scorecards all the way up to the 8th round, until Tyson dropped him with a vicious uppercut.
And the fact of the matter is it's Buster that's making it the fight. Landed by Buster Douglas. And if Buster was out of gas in the early going of this round, he's got it back together in the late portion here. Raising left hand that all night. Oh, that's a nice uppercut that time that drops Buster Douglas. Uppercut from Mike Tyson that eventually catches him, and there it is. Look at that. It's a clean right uppercut. Different angle. Look at the head snap and the perspiration fly.
Douglas managed to survive, and the scrap continued into the 10th round. That's when one of the greatest upsets in sports history happened. Buster started tagging Mike with monster combinations, and Tyson went down.
Buster not intimidated, he wants to keep it going. Mike actually has Buster landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas! Look at this! He's knocked down for the first time in his career! Mike Tyson!
That was it. Mike was barely able to stand. and the referee stopped the fight. To this day it remains one of the most talked about bouts in combat sports history.
Still coming forward, and there is just a great uppercut. And it's that uppercut that had Mike back reeling, and then followed up by a real... Buster still throwing punches, another big left hand, throwing the punches as he goes down.
Now, what happens when a world champion strongman meets a professional MMA fighter in the ring? You get your answer with this next fight: Alexander Milenko versus Mikhail Kaklav. As the fight started, Alexander looked relaxed, while Mikhail came in trying to rely on brute strength, and even landed a few early shots on Alex.
Коллега Владимировича Меньшикова, легендарного тренера, воспитавшего олимпийского чемпиона.
Удивляет меня Александр Емельяненко.
А Михаил Кокляев на протяжении всей карьеры Александра сопровождает.
А вот этот удар, как вам, справа, достаточно резкий.
But that changed real quick. Alexander adapted, started timing him, and began catching Mikhail with solid shots. Check out this moment. After Alex lands a crisp punch, he looks at Mikhail as if thinking, "Yep, the end is near for you, bud."
Михаилу прийти в себя.
Это был явный нокдаун.
Shot after shot lands with ease. Mikhail's legs are wobbling all over the place, so it's no surprise Alex finished him off in round 1, about 20 seconds before buzzer.
Все сделал для того, чтобы мой соперник как можно дольше простоял.
Show must go on, как говорится.
Смотрите, вот теперь Кокляев совершенно забыл те уроки, которые все.
Да, в тяжелом положении оказывается Михаил, но
я очень
сумеет ли он
сомневаюсь.
подняться? Александр стоит в углу и даже не смотрит на Кокляева.
Все правильно, бой завершен.
Не хочется говорить этот штамп, но тем не менее от него не уйдешь. Посмотрите, какую серию провел Александр Емельяненко. Правый прямой, левый сбоку.
Видеть ваши восторги. Дело в том, что вот сами удары, которые пропустил.
One of the most vicious knockouts in boxing history came in the second fight between Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora. These two really didn't like each other, so it's no surprise the fight turned into a back-and-forth war. Chisora pressed forward relentlessly and was even leading on 2 of 3 judges' scorecards. But then in the 11th round, Dillian Whyte landed a ruthless left hook that instantly made the judges' scorecards irrelevant.
So that'll give him a bit of energy.
Yeah.
Chisora was out cold the moment it connected. Not many people on earth would have survived a shot like that.
Dillian Whyte, this time it was emphatic. Chisora threw one, and then boom, the left hook, and you...
There it is.
Well, they both landed simultaneously. Scorecards have come in, and at the time, 95-94,
wow.
95-90.
It's a testament of their conditioning, coach, because I was thinking...
But Derek Chisora also has some vicious knockouts in his collection. One of the most brutal came against Artur Spilka. Right from the start, Chisora, true to his style, came forward aggressively and gave Spilka problems in the first round.
Yeah, it seems... Oh, good uppercut by Spilka.
Yeah, nice work from Artur Spilka there.
And Chisora trying that wide right hand.
But the real moment came at the beginning of the second. Chisora trapped Spilka against the ropes and unleashed a cruel combination that instantly switched his lights out.
Chisora onto a couple of beautiful uppercut shots. But you could slip onto the big right hook, and that was a massive shot.
Actually, in this particular case, a lot of times he does slip into it, but in the case, he was just a bit too squared up on the ropes with his hands down.
Big right hook, left hook, and then the last right hook was almost a free shot, and it went down very heavy. That was a bad...
Yeah, he didn't even... Chisora's shots got through, and then that was the final shot.
One of the wildest boxing matches you'll ever see actually happened between 2 MMA fighters, Magomed Ismailov and Vladimir Minaev. It was an 8-round bout. The first 3 rounds were mostly a feeling out process, though it was already clear that Minaev was much crisper and more technical with his boxing, while Magomed tried to rely more on his power. That approach ended up costing Magomed big time. Starting in round 4, Minaev began tagging him hard, leading to the first knockdown of the fight.
Соответственно, уже действия по тактике. Для Минеева дистанции. Опять! Вот это тяжелейший! Это схватил попадание навстречу. Ты же помнишь, Ром, мы вначале говорили о том, что Минеев придерживает он свой удар справа. И вот, да, как раз.
But Magomed is a tough bastard. He survived the storm. though things didn't get any better for him in the following rounds. He suffered another brutal knockdown in round 6.
Двойка базовая, которой учат всех боксеров.
Да вот еще разок через затяжку, отлично.
О, было бы сил, нельзя оборачиваться, зачем? Пропускает, сколько тут, 45 секунд. И трос, который сдерживает внизу под рингом, эти канаты, он лопается.
Ой-ой-ой, начинает съедать удары.
Опять подгибаются колени сейчас у Исмаилова. Естественно, Минеев, сохранивший больше сил, бьет тяжелее и точнее, и очередной нокдаун. Нокдаун Ли готов продолжать. И сколько там секунд остается? Гонг!
Rounds 7 and 8 were basically a beatdown, with Minaev putting on a striking clinic and scoring yet another vicious knockdown in the 8th.
Не хватает просто слов, эпитетов и характеристик.
Правый боковой и левый добавляет. Висит на канатах и падает вперед лицом.
Still hats off to Magomed. He survived all 8 rounds and refused to quit. Of course, Minaev won the fight via unanimous decision.
И турбулентно. Это супер характеры.
Вы знаете, друзья, в своей карьере я однажды комментировал поединок Усика.
And let's wrap this one up with another classic. Evander Holyfield vs Riddick Bowe, the third fight. This was an all-out war. Both boxers traded powerful shots like they were trapped in a telephone booth, and only one of them was getting out. The first knockdown came in round 6, when Holyfield hurt Bowe with a short right hand.
There's that uppercut again, but of course, Holyfield's getting and
one of his own uppercut. One of his own, a right uppercut, and then they trade. And Bowe digs in. Holyfield trying to come back. Holyfield, good left hook. Holy cow! What a turnaround! Can you believe this?
And give it my all at the 6th round, especially at the top of the round. He lands that left hook so effectively, Riddick Bowe didn't even see it coming.
Keep in mind, at the end of the 5th round, both the ringside physician, this fight was headed to a place that Holyfield didn't want to see.
It all came to a conclusion in round 10, when Riddick caught Holyfield with a short right hand as he was coming in. Evander beat the count, but his legs were still wobbly, and Bowe finished him off moments later.
It's over. That's it. It is over.
Great combination, but he gets caught with a short right hand there. Bad timing, leaning forward, and Holyfield goes down.
Holyfield almost can't help himself. There was the punch. He gets on the attack.
I didn't think he was getting up from the first knockdown. This is the second knockdown right here. He just doesn't have his legs underneath him.
That's about it, guys. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Have an awesome day, and I'm out.